Hello traders, I'm Luke from Disciplined Trader, and in today's video we are going to be looking at a backtest platform called ForexTester5. Quick disclaimer, ForexTester actually reached out to me a while ago and asked me to review this platform for them, but after using it for a little bit, I was so impressed with it that I asked if I could become a partner, simply because I wanted to be involved with them on a more long-term basis. So if you do want to pick up a copy of ForexTester5, my affiliate link will be in the description below, and I appreciate anybody that uses that link. Thank you. So the first thing to mention is that if you do want to give this a try, you can do so for free. If you click the affiliate link down below, you'll be taken to the website. This is the website you'll be brought to, and you can literally just press the try for free button, and you'll be able to download this platform for free and test ForexTester5 for yourself. The demo version does have a few limitations, as you would expect. You can only test 1 month of historical data before having to start a new project. You can't save and load projects or desktops within the demo version. There's also a 1 hour time limit on the tests you run before you have to start again from scratch. However, you can still export any account history data collected from your backtests to an Excel or text file when using the demo version. Some of these points might not make a lot of sense at the moment, but they will as we go through the features of ForexTester5. But it's well worth your time. It takes obviously no time at all to download it, and if you're used to MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5, I'm sure you'll find using it really easy. But let's jump back to the platform. So the first thing you'll notice when you do download FT5 ForexTester5 is that you are welcomed with a tutorial. And I have to be honest, the tutorial that they've built into the platform is amazing. It's really good. Most of the time when you open up trading platforms like this, they're so overwhelming. They're so difficult to use. I spend a lot of time at a computer. I've used various different pieces of software, and even sometimes using a different trading platform for the first time can be time consuming for me to get my head around. They've made it really simple to get to grips with this platform. For starters, it looks and feels very similar to MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5, so anybody coming from those platforms will be super comfortable with this straight away, and that will be a lot of people. Even if you don't currently use it, like myself, I've used it for a long time in the past. I know how to use that platform, and that knowledge was easily transferable when I came over to ForexTester5. But if you don't, the tutorial is here at every stage that you will need it, and it's really good. So I'll skip this for now because I've been through it, but if you're using the free trial, well worth just familiarizing yourself by going through the tutorial. Now the first thing you'll notice, like I said, is that it does look very familiar, particularly if you've used MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5 in the past. This does look very familiar. We've got our chart windows in the center, we've got our data windows surrounding the chart windows, and we've got our menus across the top. This is a little different. These menus are just organized into subcategories with the tab headings across the top there. But the majority of it works exactly the same. Now, the only difference is this isn't connected to any sort of live price feed. This is a backtest platform. So this uses historical data. So rather than it having to connect to the internet and be receiving a live feed of price, you download the data that this platform then replays for you. If you've used TradingView's replay tool, it's similar to that. Obviously, that's connected to the internet all the time and is receiving price updates that way. This will replay that historical data in a similar way, albeit much, much better, as I'll show you in a second. But using the basic functionality of the platform, like I said, it's very similar to MT4, MT5. So if you click on a chart and you want to change the time frame, you can do so by just using the time frame buttons, exactly the same as before. If I cancel off these graphs and make this full page, works exactly like MT4, MT5. To open a new chart, you just click the chart tab, new chart, pick a new chart, and you can see we get the little tabs across the bottom for the different charts, exactly like MT4, MT5. If we go over to the Windows settings, we can tile these exactly like MT4, MT5. So you get what I'm saying. This is a very familiar looking platform once you get inside it and start using the functionality within it. Now, obviously the thing we want to learn about is how to actually backtest. So what ForexTester5 has done is enable you to create projects. So you can have multiple backtest projects running at any one time. So how this works is you can split up your backtesting into different projects. So you can have different projects for different backtests. And within those backtests, you might be testing different markets, you might be testing different strategies. It will be completely up to you. But the beauty of having these in project files within FT5 is that when you leave those backtests and go and do something else, when you come back to them, they're exactly where you left them. It will remember the trade data on the simulation account that you get given within the platform. It will remember the exact price point that you got up to within that backtest. It will remember all the analysis that you've added to those charts. Even if you've then opened up another project, worked on that backtest, opened up another project, worked on that backtest, and then gone back to the original one, all that information will be remembered within that project file, which makes backtesting so much easier. So let me show you how this works. All I need to do to start a new project is press this new project file. Let me give this a name. I'm going to call it YouTube Backtest. Press next. In this, we're going to backtest. Let's have a look. Let's do the pound yen, pound Swiss, 2 markets. So once we've selected the symbols that we want to backtest, we need to select the time period that we want to backtest it over. So you can see at the minute it's saying the 4th of April 18 to the 30th of April 18. Let's instead just do 1 full year. So the 1st of April 18 to the 1st of April 19. Now it lets me pick my data. Now you can see it's giving me the option of using a maximum of 1 minute and a minimum of tick data. And it really is the tick data. It's the price movements within candles. This isn't like when you use TradingView and it just replays the whole candle. This is, you get to see the tick data forming as the data is replayed. I'm going to be using the hour, 4-hour, daily, weekly charts. I don't need the tick data per se, so 1 minute data is fine. It also just means that there's less to download. You'll see in a second. So if I press next, you can see here, it's saying that I've got this original month's worth of data, that's the April month, but I don't have the rest, so I need to download it. Now this will break the create new project system that we've just created there in order to do this. So if we press download missing data, it's going to prompt us to update those things. We only need the 1 minute, update, and it'll now download. I'll quicken this bit up. It doesn't take long, maybe a minute tops to download a couple markets worth of data. And then what we'll have to do is just reconfigure that. There you go, it's done it already. Reconfigure this new project file. So if I go back in here, YouTube backtest, I didn't mention before, but the initial deposit amount is just the amount of money that your simulation account will start with. You can only have this in dollars, not that it really matters because it's pretend money, but this is where you can change how much money you start with. Then we were choosing, this is where I can't remember what I picked. Was it pound yen, pound Swiss? I think we downloaded the data for 1 year. Next, check-in history available. Okay, so we've got the data now, so now we can progress. So you can set your time zone settings, you can set where you want to start the back test from. So start testing from the first date in the range, that's fine. Start testing after creation, I do want to start testing, but if you click that, it'll just start replaying the data straight away, and I don't want that. So we'll press create, and now our project has been created. So it'll give you a couple of chart windows to begin with. I'm just going to get rid of them for the second. So I want an hourly, an hourly, 4-hourly, daily, and weekly. So I can make this a 1 hour chart. If I go over to the chart window, I can press new chart. Which one are we on here? So we're doing the pound Swiss first. If I do pound Swiss, another chart, pound Swiss, another chart, pound Swiss, another chart. So now we've got 4 charts. If I arrange these horizontally, you can see I've got them. So if I go back home, I will make this an hour, I'll make this 4 hour, I'll make this daily, and I'll make this weekly. And that's it. So our charts are now all set up, ready to go. So once you're in this position, now we can start backtesting. So you will know your strategy, you'll know what you're looking for as far as entry points, exit points, etc, etc. You might be using indicators, and if you are, you can add most of the normal indicators that you would see within a trading platform from the indicators panel. This is just on the home panel. An extra benefit as well is that if you have custom indicators within MT4, if you've got the MQ4 file, you can get them imported into FT5 and use them within FT5 as well, which I think is a huge bonus. So for example, I'm just going to add a 21 EMA. That should be on that chart, but I'll add it to all the charts. Apply, apply, and apply. And now I can hit start, and now our data will start being replayed. Away it goes. Now, one thing you might not have realized was going to happen, but these charts are actually moving in sync with each other. You don't get this on other backtesting platforms. It's fantastic. So you can see as the hourly chart develops, the 4-hour chart's developing, the daily chart's developing, and the weekly chart's developing. You can pause this at any point. So when you're doing your multi-time frame analysis, you can do this now as you backtest. I don't know if you've tried to do it in other platforms, but it can become really tedious. One, because you don't see the data progress like this. It's more blocky. You get like a candle at a time. And often, if you're looking at an hourly chart, for example, and then you change in that backtest to a weekly chart, it won't be actually up to the point that you're on the hourly chart. But these are all synced up to exactly the same price. You can see we're on 133.98 on every price chart we're looking at. That's really cool. I couldn't believe that when I was first using this. It makes your backtesting so much more realistic because you can actually do multi-time frame analysis and see how the candles are looking on different charts. Massive fan of this. Now obviously, some of you might use, as I do, drawing tools for your analysis, and again you can use these within FT5. They're all configurable. You can see I've dropped this on an hourly time frame and it's not showing on the others. You can configure it to do that. If I right click, edit time frames, you can choose which time frame this is shown on if you want to do so, and that goes for any of the indicators or graphical elements that you want to choose. Another massive benefit of this platform, which I would be great to see in MT4 or MT5. If you hit the Windows tab and then press Graphic Panel, we actually get a floating drawing tool panel, which is loads better than having to do it the MT4 way of going into the menu like that. So now we can literally just drag these drawing tools onto the chart. Super easy. It makes doing the analysis so much easier. If you're looking at support and resistance levels and you want to draw them with rectangles and things, so much easier. And obviously when you don't need that, you can get rid of it. So if I continue the backtest going forward, obviously the main part of the backtest is actually taking some trades. So let's do that. So if I'm going to pause that here, everything's looking okay at the moment. The easiest way to take a trade on this platform then, there are a couple of ways. You can right click on any of the charts and you can see at the top you'll be given some sort of default orders to set at the level that you've right clicked on. Or the way I find easiest to do is just to come over to the order panel and you can use either market or pending order. And this obviously just depends on what market you've got selected. So if I click market order, it's going to select that market. Obviously we can choose between two because we've loaded two into this project, but we're looking at the pound Swiss just at the second. Now, the cool thing about this is if I click off this and just make it so I can see more chart and go back to, let's do a pending order. Setting your levels is so easy using this because you can use these pipette tools. So if I want to set, say, a buy stop, I can just use the pipette tool and click where I want to put it. And I can do the exact same for the stop loss, and I can do the exact same for the take profit. And that's it. They're my levels set. If that's where I wanted to drop those levels, that's how easy it is to do it. And actually, configuring your risk management is even easier. So obviously within MT4 and MT5, you have to enter your lot amount in the volume box, or if you're spread betting, your spread bet amount. Within this, you can actually tell it to calculate your risk based on the percentage of your account you want to risk. So for example, if you're someone like me who typically risks 1% of their account per trade, you can just bang 1% in that box and it will calculate your lot size for you. If it was 2%, it will calculate 2%. It's that easy. So what it will do, it will make that 1% the size of your stop loss. And then once that's done, you can hit place order and away we go. And similar to MT4 and MT5, you can drag these levels. So if you wanted to increase that take profit up a little bit, you can do. And obviously we will see all these levels on all the charts as they're all synced up. So let's resume this. You can see now we've entered a buy position. It'll show it with a little green circle, and our live trade will be shown along the bottom of the screen, exactly the same as MT4, MT5. I didn't show you because I'm silly, but the pending order would have been showing in the pending orders tab, and any finished trades will be in this account history tab. But we can see our open position in this open position tab. So let's resume the market simulation and see how this trade finishes up. One thing you can do, I'm just going to pause it here, is if you come over to the home tab, there's a few things you can do to configure how the backtest runs. So for example, I can slow down the speed of this testing, or I can increase it using this slider, which is a really cool feature. Let's wait for this. I'll speed this up and wait for this trade to finish. So there we go, that trade's finished. But what you can also do is jump to a particular moment in time, if that's what you need to do. You can cycle a candlestick backwards and forwards using the bar back and bar forward buttons if you need to, if you want it to just go back a little bit because you've made a mistake or whatever. And then the other cool thing is you can change how much data is shown on each sort of time increment. That's a terrible way of explaining it, so I'll demonstrate it to you. So if I put this right in the center and press resume, you can see how that hourly candle takes 4 or 5 little price movements before it's formed. Well, what I can do is I can change this to, say, a 30-minute interval instead, and now that hourly chart will only take 2 price changes. It'll show a 30-minute change, 30-minute change. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Or if I wanted to make it an hour, then it would just print an entire hour candle at a time, as you can see there. Now that wouldn't happen on the 4 hour, it would take 4 little price movements. If we watch the 4 hour one, you'll see that that's what happens. 4 little price movements and a candle forms, etc, etc. It depends how quickly you want this backtest to form. It depends what time increments are important to you. For example, if you're trading off a 4 hour chart, seeing every little tick probably isn't important. So why sit and watch it? They've made it so you don't have to. You can configure this to however you like. Another cool feature that again you can't get in MT4 and MT5 is the ability to add custom timeframes. To do this, all you have to do is add the time frame in minutes. So if you wanted, say, a peculiar 8 hours or something, just enter 8 hours but in minutes, and it will be entered on this list for you. And essentially that is how the backtest functionality of this works. Your sort of statistics for your backtest is broken down in the statistics window. You get to see the amount of time that you've tested, and then obviously all the trade metrics for the trades that you've taken. So the number of trades, winners, losers, amount of trades you're taking per day, profit factors, max drawdown, average loss, average profits. It's all within this statistics window. And like I say, because you can have multiple projects, if you had, say, 3 strategies that you wanted to test on, I don't know, 5 different markets, you could have 3 different projects, one for each strategy, and then you can compare the statistics from each strategy within this window to see which is the best. Or it might not even be a case of which is the best, just know your statistics around your different strategies. You could split each strategy up into 3 separate projects or 5 separate projects and have a project for each strategy and each market if you wanted to, because then you could break the data down even more granular. You could have this is how strategy 1 performed in market 1, this is how strategy 1 performed in market 2, etc, etc. It lets you do that. And like I say, the cool thing about the projects is that when you come back to them, as I'll demonstrate in a second, they're exactly where you left off. But just before we do that, look, if I pop over to the account history tab, we can see the trade entry here and what happened with that. So that made us £127.32, so 1.27 return on that trade, considering that we risked 1%, which was £100, $100 in this case. So let me save this project. All I have to do is press this little floppy disk icon. The project's been saved. And now if I load the sample project that the platform gives you when you open it up, but before I do so, just sort of take a mental note of what this looks like. Our 4-hour chart is just past the moving average, and we obviously don't have many candles. We've got moving averages on the chart. I'm going to add a horizontal line just a little bit below where we are on the 1 hour. let's remember what that looks like. Save project, and now we'll open up our sample one. This will take a couple of seconds just to open this up. And again, wherever I left this project, this is what it's going to show me. I can't remember, so I can't give you any feedback on that one. But now if I go back to open project and go back to our YouTube backtest, everything will be exactly as we left it, apart from one thing. The windows for some reason don't seem to configure themselves properly. So just press tile horizontally again. But as you'll see, everything is exactly where we left it. The price is exactly where we left it. We're at the same moment in time we saved and quit. We've got exactly the same trades placed, exactly the same statistics. The line is still present, our indicators are still present. Everything is as we've left it. And when you're doing backtests on things like TradingView or other platforms, if you've ever done them, you'll know that when you stop doing those backtests, you've got to sort of shut everything down and get rid of everything. And then when you come back to it, it can be tedious, like reconfiguring, getting back to the point where you were. It's so easy within Forex Tester 5. It will take you no time at all to flip between different backtest projects. It will save you a lot of time. So that's essentially pretty much how Forex Tester 5 works. That's the main things that you will obviously get from using Forex Tester 5. Now you can install EAs on Forex Tester 5 as well, expert advisors like you can do in MT4 and MT5, and run them within it on the backtest data that you can get. So if that's something you wanted to do, that is also possible within the platform too. And there are other things that I've not yet touched on. For example, there's an education system built into FT5 which looks really good. I'm going to make a specific video on that too. I'm also going to do a specific video running through an entire backtest so you can see what that looks like from start to finish. Those two videos will be up on the channel within the next couple of months. And I think what I will do is make my usual in-depth tutorial for this platform, because whilst it is similar to MT4 and MT5, there are differences, and obviously it's got different functionalities. So I will make one of them for the channel as well for anybody that wants to use this and isn't quite sure. Maybe that, if you're concerned that you need a little bit more help, obviously it does have the tutorial within it, but seeing somebody else do it sometimes is better for some people. So that is something I'll look to do as well. And obviously if you've got any questions about the platform, let me know in the comments down below and I'll do my best to help. But if you want to see those videos, make sure to subscribe. So I mentioned earlier that you need historical data in order to use Forex Tester 5. And what they do is they have a subscription model for that data. So the reason they've chosen to use a subscription model is because the data gets updated every single day. So for example, today, if you've got the right subscription or the subscription for the data, you can download yesterday's trading data today. That's how quickly they get it up. So that's the reason it's a subscription, it's because it's been constantly updated every day. But with the free trial version, it tells you on their website what you get with that. So you get the introductory trading course that I mentioned within the education section only, rather than everything. You get 1 month of historical backtesting data for a limited number of symbols. I think it's about 9 symbols. But this is more than enough. It's ample to give you a taster of what this platform's capable of. So if you are thinking about using it, like I say, click the link in the description, give the free trial a go and see what you think. It's going to cost you nothing, cost you half an hour to an hour of your time. And I promise you, if you are looking to do some serious backtesting, this is a really, really good tool. I'll be very surprised if you find anything better. So when you buy the platform, you get a free basic data package. So this is what is detailed on the left-hand side of this web page here, which includes 20 years worth of data for 18 symbols. And it tells you what you don't get within the free data on the left-hand side. Now, obviously, if you opt to pay for the data subscription, you then get all 860 symbols that Forex Tester have available, and that includes various different markets. I'll show you them in a second. You also get the news for 9 currencies. I forgot to mention this at the time, but you'll notice as we go through the charts, these little circular icons, these are news announcements. So as you're backtesting in other platforms, you might see price spike and not really know why, because it was 4 years ago and you've got no idea what might have caused that. You're going to know what's caused that. You're going to know what news announcement it was, what the forecast was, and what the result was. It's going to make trading around news, if you do that, if you trade the news, even easier to find that edge. So the available symbols within each are detailed on the web page too, and you can see here we've got the basic data and then the super data. So with the basic data you get all 7 major pairs and then 9 crosses, whereas obviously you get all 29 crosses on the main subscription. And then in with the free you also get 2 metals, you get XAU USD and XAG USD. And then with the paid subscription, you obviously get all the rest. So you get 95 exotic currency pairs, all 22 commodities, including oil, cotton, gas, etc. You get all 20 metals, good selection of metals, all 111 indexes, so DGI, the Aussie 200, German 30, so the DAX, the FTSE, etc. And then you get a really, really good selection of stocks. So you get 369 US stocks, 48 EU stocks, 142 EU stocks and 48 UK stocks, and then just a couple from other categories too. So obviously the data subscription package is really good, and there's nothing to keep you doing it forever. Obviously, if you're not bothered about getting the daily updates, if you pay for it for a little bit, you'll still keep that data. You just won't be getting the updates for it. So that is also an option too. But yeah, if you want to find out anything more, like I say, give the free trial a go. It's definitely worth your time. If you do opt to buy it and you're not convinced, they do offer a 30-day money back guarantee, which is good to know. But like I say, I'll be surprised if you really want to do some serious back testing. This is by far the best platform I personally have come across. But like I say, if you've got any questions, let me know. The web page is very, very informative, so it'll probably answer the majority of your questions that you've got there. My affiliate link is in the description below. Big thumbs up and thanks from me if you do use that. Thank you very much for watching, traders, and I'll see you next time.